lockdown, wordless mortals, you saw the return of me! But this is what I would have done at the end of the British Fist lockdown review.
British Fist, you are no more.
Worthless mortals, I'm back! As promised, worthless mortals, by the end of this night, the best is yet to come. Killer, admit you're the leader of the AcesAnd8's on your lockdown review, because believe me, if you don't, bad things are gonna happen to the British Fist. Because I seriously want to bash their fucking heads in! I just wish there was a way I could still do it. Maybe there is.
Welcome back, YouTubers, to the post-lockdown TNA Impact Wrestling review with us, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
I'm Mr. Parkin, and as you guys all very well know by now, this guy sitting next to me is NJ.
What's up?
More over than Sting and Hogan, and even us and Aries, all put together in the YWC. Subscribe to us if you will, like this video, and put any thoughts and comments you have on this TNA Impact Wrestling show down in that comment section below.
Please make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
Indeed, and we were live on the road for the first time in Chicago for TNA, and I must say that having that live crowd there and it being live from Chicago, another area other than the Impact Zone, I wasn't going to need my stress ball this week because the sound and the look of the place was actually really good. It actually felt like a big-time wrestling show, like the UK shows did.
Throughout the night, it felt the crowd was definitely into each part, especially the AcesAnd8's were, which was good because you need to get them reaction because recently no one's really cared. So to get the crowd to react to stuff really helped the show numerous places.
And it was important that TNA had a good leader to do that, and they gave us probably the best leader at TNA Lockdown in Bully Ray. So it was interesting to see what they were going to do with that going forward. We started off the show with the AcesAnd8's kicking Los Stereotypicos' asses. I must admit, I found that rather entertaining. I thought they were going to have a tag title match, and then AcesAnd8's just come out and kick their motherfucking ass.
To be honest, I didn't really think a tag title match was needed. It was unannounced. It just blared. It just came out of nowhere. So I'm glad that there was something to stop it from happening, even though it probably means we're going to get it later down the line. The AcesAnd8's come out and saved us from seeing that match.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the best way you could have started the show, really, with the AcesAnd8's, who are the main talking point of the lockdown pay-per-view. You have D1 introducing our new world champion, Bully Ray, and Bully Ray basically says nothing new here, really, just that he made a fool out of all of us and that the AcesAnd8's are going to do what the NWO couldn't. Yeah, so that's a nice factual statement there, Bully Ray.
The thing I liked about this is that this was really directed at, yes, it was a follow-up from the pay-per-view, but directed at what's yet to come for Bully Ray.
Yeah, so let's move on. Oh, from the opening segment, I felt this was decent. There was nothing new here, but as long as Bully Ray is holding that mic, I'm interested. The rest of the guys I couldn't really care about. They should let Bully Ray do all the talking in that group because it's the only one I'm interested in. Gail Kim and Tara versus Velvet Sky and Mickie James. How long is it since you've seen Mickie James on TV? I kind of missed her.
She did come out a bit of nowhere, so maybe they're going to make a feud come from this, but she did come out of nowhere for this match.
It seems like the main feud they're concentrating on right now is Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell. They forwarded that on while also giving Velvet the win. I'd say that was good booking, personally. You know, we don't really know who's going to face Velvet next, but they've got plenty of time to build up to Slammiversary, so we don't necessarily need to know who the number one contender is just yet. You still don't care about the knockouts then? Okay, I'll just say with Mickie James, I was kind of interested, but I see what you mean. Robbie E versus Rob Terry. Just had this match at Lockdown. Rob Terry wins very quickly, which is what he should have done the pay-per-view. That's all I care about.
So we missed the pay-per-view match, but we've got to see it on the next show. Yeah.
But much quicker, and I must admit, I am all for a Rob Terry face-turn push. The stuff they did backstage with Hogan and Sting, I felt was very well done throughout the night. You had, obviously, Hogan blaming Sting for putting his trust in Bully Ray. Sting is the reason why Bully Ray is world champion. You had Brooks breakdown. So the way they did that whole thing spread throughout the night, I thought was very well done, and actually, unlike TNA generally, actually made a ton of sense.
Because this was all adding up to the Bully Ray and Hogan feud that's coming. The fact they also affected the relationship between Sting and Hogan, there is no us anymore, and all this kind of stuff, is really building up to something. Who knows what? There's loads of ideas going around. Hogan bully, Sting bully. Who knows where they're going to go, but this is the interest where it kicks in.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much had Hulk Hogan blow off Sting pretty much, who's a long-time friend. That shows that Hulk Hogan is pretty serious about the situation, brother. We thought we were going to get the AJ Styles return in the next segment, but instead of that, out comes Daniels and Kaz with LOD face paint, a nice tribute to the Road Warriors, eh? Ooh, what a rush. Yeah, I love that, actually. That was pretty well done. And that led to James Storm coming out, and Christopher Daniels versus James Storm happened. James Storm gets the victory. Bad Influence attack James Storm, and then we get the return of the phenomenal
AJ Styles.
The phenomenal AJ Styles to attack Kaz and Daniels, and then at the last minute, he attacks James Storm. So,
I won't sound too into this, but by the end of this, because AJ, I think he maybe should have just came out. I thought a tag team match was going to happen, but we got the next best thing. AJ Styles is going against probably Storm, a feud that I predicted, a feud I wanted to see. You look like we're getting it, so it's going to be a good thing for Storm and then AJ.
Yeah, I'm really glad they're actually giving James Storm some direction as well as AJ Styles. I don't want AJ Styles to have anything to do with that Kaz and Daniels. As long as they stay away from those two and he feuds with James Storm. Could be a very interesting feud, I think. And I'm liking the new AJ Styles, the new kind of, I'm guessing he's going to be some kind of anti-hero. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this new AJ Styles character now. And this is probably the best way you could have had him in a feud with James Storm. The AcesAnd8's attacked Kurt Angle backstage. Again, this show was all about cementing the dominance of the AcesAnd8. So if you haven't seen in quite some time,
well, the one thing I want to say about this, because we're starting to say it now, is the beatdown weren't very effective, as you'll find out later.
Yeah, we had a Joseph Park promo. He came out and said the highlight of his life was being in the middle of the ring in his hometown, and he can't wait for what's next, and neither can I as a fan. And then we get Matt Morgan coming out to diss Hogan about the Bully Ray situation, saying that Hogan's biggest mistake was signing Parkin as an abortion to the sport of wrestling. But I think what Matt Morgan underestimates here is the power of strong characters. As a strong character, Joseph Park is prepared to fight Matt Morgan. Morgan kicks his ass and wants a match next week. So, you know, I know that having Matt Morgan feud with Joseph Park isn't exactly the best use of Matt Morgan, but at least you're getting Matt Morgan on the show, and he's bound to beat Joseph Park and get some. He got a lot of heel heat with the hometown boy being there.
Number one, the promo, I was like, this better freaking goes somewhere, because he was going on saying everything he's accomplished, everything he's happy for. Matt Morgan coming out. Yes, he had, well, plus Matt Morgan hadn't really been continuous feud with Hogan very well, so I'm glad they brought it back. He says that he's going to undo all Hogan's wrongs, which there are a lot of. He takes out Joseph Park, setting up a feud, I guess, but maybe he'll just go through that with one match, move on to another wrestler, before they get to a bigger place in TNA, which hinted against Jeff Hardy.
I do hope that they actually keep going with this, have him beat Joseph Park, maybe have him beat a couple other people, and then maybe culminate in a match with Jeff Hardy at Slammiversary. Maybe, unless he's going to get a rematch against Bully Ray at Slammiversary. Who really knows? But it's nice they're actually getting back on the Matt Morgan trail. He wasn't there for the UK shows. I haven't really had much use for him lately, so he's kind of been off TV. So I've been wondering, are they actually going to go anywhere with Matt Morgan's push, you know? There we go. We get to our main event of the evening, which was Sting versus Austin Aries. You know, you would think Sting, after what happened at the lockdown pay-per-view, would be more focused on the AcesAnd8's rather than just a random match with Austin Aries.
Well, the way they set this match was backstage thing with both Rude and Aries setting this up, got in Sting's face, set this up. And I think, again, probably got about 2-3 months till Slammiversary. Little things like this, just to space things out, I guess is needed because they've got too much of a gap. So this match, we've had Rude versus Sting before, so Aries having a chance for one match, I guess is okay.
I mean, the crowd are very into this match. I mean, I'm not surprised. Austin Aries is very over. Sting is still over, even though he's over 50 now. This was the first time they faced off as well, so you know, I felt this was an okay. This is probably one of the best Sting matches I've seen for quite some time. No surprises he was against Austin Aries. I just want to know, what idiot booked Aries to not know how to do the sharpshooter unless they were taking a shot at The Miz not being able to do the figure four? And in that case, if that was the way they were doing it, that was actually quite funny.
I still thought it was pretty stupid, especially when you get Aries to do it, who's like the class. The rest of that you want to put entertaining matches. But moving past that, I don't think the importance was really the match.
No.
Yes, Sting managed to put on a 15+ match with Aries, but it was the fact at the very end of the match.
At the very end of the match, we had Aces and Eights interfering to beat up Sting, and that led us on to our main event where the Aces and Eights have taken over Impact. You know, because have you noticed on the TNA website that it's all about the Aces and Eights now? You know, don't know why they couldn't have done this stuff when I actually cared about the Aces and Eights a long time ago. But anyway, you get Bully Ray cutting that promo in the middle of the ring about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan comes out on crutches, saying that firing Bully Ray would be the coward's way out, and he wants everyone in the TNA locker room to fight the Aces and Eights. And we get just that for about 4 minutes.
Yes, it did take a bit of time to beat them all down. Every time we beat them down, they would get back up, beat them down, get back up. But the thing I liked about this is, yes, Bully Ray was right in his promo early in the night. Let's do what we do best, which is not win matches. No, it's the attacks, the beatdowns. So for this, I give the AcesAnd8's credit.
It actually reminded me of that segment they had ages ago on Impact where they first had the whole TNA roster fight all the Aces and Eights. The Aces and Eights, surprisingly enough, actually came out on top in this segment. I think this show was geared towards maybe trying to rekindle people's interest in the Aces and Eights and actually having them look like some kind of dominant faction. For the first time in ages, they've actually been able to take out people with whom they've been equal numbers with.
The two things I want to take from this is just the Bully Ray and Hogan feud, but a possible Bully Ray and Angle feud looked like it was being teased outside the ring.
Yeah, so it was a nice brawl to end the show, but the one lingering thought in my mind as I left Impact was, at the end of the day, and this is just something that really infuriates me about TNA sometimes. I don't mind them using Hogan, you know, to help viewership and etc. But at the end of the day, guys, this AcesAnd8's angle has got some rekindled interest because of Bully Ray and everything being the leader, and he's going to be the sole focus of it being the world champion, and they've got a credible faction there. But at the end of the day, the biggest angle on TNA Impact Wrestling involves Bully Ray, an ex-WWE guy who's 40 plus, fine, and Hulk Hogan. Now, I just want to ask you guys out there, is it stuff like this that kind of annoys you about TNA? The fact that it's Bully Ray and Hogan, two ex-WWE guys, blah, 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 two veterans are actually going to be, you know, probably in the main angle of the show. I'm just saying.
Well, two things I want to say about the finish is, number one, you had Bully Ray coming out to the ring to go and get Hogan. What are you going to do, Hogan? Hogan starts stubbing him towards him, and Bully Ray backs away. Yeah, you look like a strong leader if you're backing away from an injured man. Yeah, congratulations. And the other thing is, I think as we've seen in WWE, especially when a top wrestler goes against a boss, big things happen.
Indeed. Now it's time to go on to our... Oh, what the hell's going on here? What the...
Fools. Pathetic, misguided fools prattling on week after week, screaming from the rooftops in vain for an open ear to hear you, but met with only closed minds and broken dreams left unfulfilled. Two impudent children who play at being men, and a perversion of science who fancies himself a conqueror. You upload your propaganda, blissfully unaware of your own insignificance, and herd your trifling audience like lambs to the slaughter. But in the battle for primacy, there can only be one. You have forgotten your place, and now I have come to restore the balance. Know now that there is nothing you can do, and no one that will help you. Resistance will only hasten your coming agony, and when the final bell tolls, and the children's bodies are ash in the wind, and the machine lies prostrated before me, you will know that you bore witness to the magnificence
of the unstoppable, undefeatable, one true...
Hey, what's all that noise? Are you Skyping with someone in here? Get out! Fuck! I don't want to know.